question I pose is, should Caitlin Clark be remaining loyal to the WNBA? That is a real question for us to figure out as we kind of go through the WNBA plans with this new league as well. Let's get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right into things. So here it says, new women's pro development league will give NCAA players more opportunities. Here it says, a lot of attention has been paid to the launch of Project B.
The shocking truth hit like a tidal wave. Caitlin Clark's WNBA future, once a sacred bond, now hangs by a thread so thin it's barely visible. Her loyalty, once unwavering, faces its ultimate test, as a perfect storm of league negligence and revolutionary new opportunities makes a dramatic exit not just plausible, but disturbingly inevitable. The WNBA is at a crossroads, and their biggest star might already be eyeing the door, her patience worn thin by a league seemingly determined to undervalue its golden goose. This isn't just speculation, the pieces are falling into place, confirming a potential departure that will rewrite women's basketball history.
New women's pro development league will give NCAA players more opportunities. Here it says, a lot of attention has been paid to the launch of Project B, a professional 5-on-5 women's league that is expected to begin play November 2026. Despite ongoing concerns surrounding the league's perceived lack of clarity about operations and funding, a lot of that attention is justified because Project B has already managed to sign some major WNBA talent. Now, we've seen Project B sign WNBPA President Nneka Ogwumike, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell.
The backdrop to this brewing storm is the ongoing WNBA CBA negotiations, shrouded in an unsettling silence. No good news has emerged, leaving fans and players alike in limbo, questioning if a season will even happen. This pervasive uncertainty creates a fertile ground for players, especially those with immense leverage, to reconsider their allegiances. The league's instability is openly inviting alternatives, pushing its stars to look beyond traditional structures, a situation that could prove catastrophic for the WNBA's future dominance. The cracks are showing, and the league's foundation feels increasingly precarious, making any player's long-term commitment a genuine concern.
Clark, and she has ultimately turned them down, and that is another reason why Caitlin Clark is a huge part of this entire situation. Here it says, but there's another professional basketball women's basketball league debuting in the summer of 2026, and this one may mean more to players who will be leaving college that month. Upshot, which is backed by Zoyer Sports and Entertainment, will begin its season in May 2026. The league will be led by former WNBA president Donna Arender and has the financial backing of a group that includes Cheryl Miller. Perhaps more importantly, it's being described as a type.
Into this void steps Project B, a formidable professional 5-on-5 women's league slated to launch in November 2026. Despite early concerns about its operational clarity and funding, Project B has already made significant waves, securing major WNBA talent. Nneka Ogwumike, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell, and Liz Thomas are just a few of the high-profile names jumping ship, validating Project B's ambition and financial appeal. This burgeoning competitor is siphoning off established stars, signaling a shift in the landscape and challenging the WNBA's long-held monopoly on top-tier talent, creating an unprecedented dilemma for players
and fans alike, is that rosters simply aren't built to accommodate all of the talent that could exist in the league. As a result, some first-round picks don't always end up in the league, and most second and third round picks opt to play overseas or stop playing basketball entirely. There's a lot of really good players who just stopped after college. I think somebody like who was it? Haley Cavender was really good at Miami. I think she averaged like 20 points a game, but she's small. She didn't get a shot. There's a lot of good players who just kind of stop. And that's that.
Critically, Project B made a colossal play for Caitlin Clark, swinging for the fences with an offer reportedly worth millions. Yet, she staunchly turned them down, reaffirming her initial commitment to the WNBA. This decision, however, wasn't a blank check for the league. It was a testament to her lifelong dream, a dream that the WNBA now seems intent on shattering through repeated slights and institutional failures. Her initial rejection of Project B highlights the depth of her loyalty, making the subsequent mistreatment she's endured all the more egregious and the eventual breaking point all the more tragic for the league.
And wave and those who just missed the draft entirely. Now, there's plenty of good players. We saw Bree Hall get drafted from the University of South Carolina, get drafted by the Indiana Fever, and get cut in training camp. The Upshot League would be a good developmental place for them to be able to keep eyes on her, for her to be able to play and develop and be able to get called up to the W. I think it would be a really, really good idea. The inaugural Upshot season is 4 months, something that could drain athletes since there are only 4 teams, 20 games that will be played at home, and 20 games will be played on the road. So this is a new...
But Project B isn't the only new player on the scene. A second professional women's basketball league, Upshot, is set to debut in May 2026, offering a distinct and potentially game-changing alternative backed by Zoyar Sports and Entertainment and led by former WNBA president Donna Render. With financial support from figures like Cheryl Miller, Upshot is not merely another competitor. It represents a different kind of opportunity, specifically targeting a critical unmet need within the current professional basketball ecosystem, potentially offering a lifeline to countless talented athletes currently overlooked and undervalued.
Over $20 million via other leagues. From Unrivaled, Project B, Ice Cube, and the Big Three, she's turned down over $20 million, right? Now, granted, she's making a lot of money in endorsements and all that good stuff, but $20 million is $20 million. That's a lot of money to turn down. My thing is this, and this is the question I pose. Should Caitlin Clark continue to turn down money and offers from these other leagues to stay loyal to the WNBA? Really think about it. Now, I'm just trying to give you both sides of this.
Upshot is explicitly being framed as a G League or developmental league for college graduates, a crucial stepping stone for players who don't immediately crack a WNBA roster. This innovation addresses a significant shortfall, providing a domestic pathway for exceptional collegiate talent to continue playing professionally in the US and develop their skills. It offers a structured environment for players to hone their game, remain visible to WNBA scouts, and potentially earn a call-up, something that the WNBA has notoriously failed to provide, leaving countless stars with nowhere to go after college.
Is being targeted, being disrespected, having all of her fans called racist no matter what race they are. She's been the most flagrantly fouled player in the league. They don't call any fouls for her. All the players are jealous of her and take shots at her. What is she staying loyal to at this point? It's not like she's making top dollar over there. She's making 60, 70, 80K. It's not like she's making top dollar being in the league. Kathy Engelbert, we don't know if what Kathy said allegedly to Nafisa Collier is true or not. We don't know.
The WNBA's persistent roster problem has long been a glaring flaw. Simply put, there aren't enough spots for all the talent. This means even first-round draft picks often don't secure a place, while most second and third rounders are forced to play overseas or abandon basketball entirely. Upshot directly confronts this systemic issue, offering a legitimate path for these exceptional athletes to continue their careers stateside. The league's failure to accommodate its own talent pool has created this vacuum, and Upshot is now perfectly positioned to fill it, offering a compelling alternative that highlights the WNBA's structural deficiencies.
To Collier is true or not. We don't know. But what we do know is Kathy Engelbert has been negligent when it came to Caitlin Clark. She wasn't ready. She didn't even make sure that Caitlin Clark was on the damn Olympic team. She doesn't make sure that the refs call a fair game for her when she is the prized possession of the league. She is the golden goose. Kathy Engelbert has done everything to try to make the success of the WNBA about her and not Caitlin Clark. What is Caitlin Clark staying loyal to? That is a legitimate question. I understand. I want to see Caitlin Clark ball in the WNBA as well.
Consider players like Haley Cavender, a standout from Miami averaging 20 points per game, whose professional aspirations were curtailed by her height, illustrating how arbitrary factors can derail promising careers. Then there's Bray Hall, drafted by the Indiana Fever, only to be cut during training camp, a brutal reality check for many. Upshot provides a vital developmental space for these athletes, allowing them to remain on the radar, play competitive games, and keep their WNBA dreams alive. It's a second chance the WNBA desperately needs but has never provided, creating a fertile ground for alternative leagues to thrive. Upshot's inaugural season will span 4 months, featuring 20 home and 20 away games. It plans to sign 44 players across its initial 4 teams in Jacksonville, Savannah, Greensboro, and Charlotte, with a Baltimore team joining in 2027. This means 44 new professional spots for athletes who deserve a shot, including those drafted in 2025 who might miss WNBA rosters or those who went undrafted entirely. This robust structure demonstrates a serious commitment to player development and opportunity, directly contrasting the WNBA's limited entry points and creating a genuine viable career alternative for aspiring professionals. Now let's revisit Caitlin Clark. We already know she has rejected over $20 million in offers from rival leagues like Unrivaled, Project B, and Ice Cube's Big Three. This staggering sum is not pocket change. It represents a monumental financial sacrifice rooted in her deep-seated loyalty to the WNBA and her childhood dream. She is making astronomical sacrifices for a league that pays her a mere $60.80K, a fraction of her potential earnings elsewhere. This stark financial disparity casts a harsh light on the WNBA's value proposition, forcing a critical question about what exactly she is protecting by staying. The undeniable question that must be posed is, why should Caitlin Clark continue to turn down millions and remain loyal to the WNBA? Her unwavering commitment stems from a lifelong dream of playing in the league, idolizing legends like Maya Moore. However, since her arrival, she has been met with an onslaught of targeting, disrespect, and blatant unfairness. The personal toll must be immense, making her continued sacrifice increasingly inexplicable, especially when juxtaposed with the immense financial opportunities she's actively rejecting. Her loyalty is a dwindling resource, being squandered by a short-sighted league. The evidence of disrespect is undeniable. Caitlin Clark has consistently been the most flagrantly fouled player in the league, yet officials seemingly turn a blind eye, failing to call fouls that would be whistled for any other player. This systemic bias not only endangers her physical well-being, but also signals a tacit approval of aggressive play against her, diminishing her impact and sending a clear message. The league isn't prioritizing its biggest stars' protection. This blatant disregard for fair play is a profound insult, chipping away at any reason for her to remain committed to the WNBA. Adding insult to injury, Clark and her diverse fan base have been subjected to relentless, baseless accusations of racism, regardless of their actual racial backgrounds. This toxic narrative not only undermines her phenomenal impact, but also creates a hostile environment around her, discouraging new fans and alienating existing ones. Such widespread, unfair criticism, amplified by various media personalities, is an insidious form of targeting that extends beyond the court, making her WNBA experience a constant battle against unfounded negativity. This continuous onslaught is a heavy burden, eroding her passion for the league. Furthermore, the palpable jealousy from other players is a constant undercurrent, with many taking veiled or even direct shots at her in interviews and on social media. This creates an unwelcoming locker room culture and further isolates her, despite her singular ability to drive unprecedented viewership and revenue for the entire league. Instead of embracing their biggest asset, many seem resentful, contributing to a deeply uncomfortable and unprofessional atmosphere. This internal friction, rather than being managed, appears to be implicitly tolerated, if not outright encouraged, by the league's leadership. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's alleged negligence has been a critical factor in this unfolding drama. Her failure to ensure Caitlin Clark was even considered for the Olympic team was a monumental misstep, a shocking oversight for the league's undeniable prize possession. It demonstrated a stunning lack of foresight and an inability to capitalize on a once-in-a-generation opportunity to showcase its star on the global stage. This glaring lapse in judgment highlighted a pattern of mismanagement that directly impacts Clark's career and severely damages her faith in the league's leadership. Beyond the Olympic team debacle, Engelbert has also been widely criticized for her failure to ensure fair officiating for Clark. As the league's golden goose, Clark should be afforded the utmost protection and a level playing field. Instead, she endures constant physicality without consequence for her opponents, while the commissioner remains silent. This inaction is not just negligence. It's a profound betrayal of the league's responsibility to its most valuable asset, creating an environment where Clark is disproportionately targeted without recourse. Such blatant disregard for her safety and fair play is inexcusable. It appears that Engelbert, rather than leveraging Caitlin Clark's unparalleled popularity to elevate the entire WNBA, has instead focused on making the league's newfound success about her own leadership. This self-serving approach, prioritizing personal accolades over the welfare and fair treatment of the league's biggest draw, only further alienates Clark and her massive fan base. The WNBA's boom is undeniably fueled by Clark, yet the commissioner seems intent on diminishing her impact, creating a deep rift between the league's public face and its most valuable player, a situation that cannot hold indefinitely. So, with all these factors converging, the WNBA's instability, the emergence of viable alternative leagues like Upshot and Project B, offering millions, and the incessant disrespect, targeting, and negligence from within the WNBA itself, what exactly is Caitlin Clark staying loyal to? This is not an abstract query, it's a legitimate, urgent question that demands an answer. Her loyalty has been tested, stretched, and seemingly exploited. At what point does a dream become a nightmare? And at what point does loyalty transform into self-sabotage? The current trajectory is unsustainable for any athlete, let alone one of her caliber. At some inevitable point, Caitlin Clark will be compelled to reevaluate her options and seriously consider these lucrative alternative leagues. If the consistent negligence from the Indiana Fever's higher-ups and the WNBA commissioner persists, continuing to undermine her well-being and career, her decision will become crystal clear. She's been nothing but targeted and disrespected since stepping foot in the league, making a shocking exit not just a possibility, but a perfectly rational and necessary move for her career and personal well-being. The WNBA is forcing her hand, and the outcome could be devastating. The confirmation of Caitlin Clark's shocking WNBA exit isn't a direct quote, but rather the undeniable conclusion drawn from the perfect storm of circumstances engulfing her. The WNBA's structural flaws, the rise of well-funded alternative leagues, and the profound disrespect she has endured all point to one inevitable truth. Her loyalty is being pushed to its breaking point. Her departure, while seismic, would be a logical, self-preserving response to a league that has failed to protect and properly value its most impactful player. The question isn't if she'll leave, but when and what that will mean for the future of women's basketball.